think we're back again. We had some technical difficulties there. I don't know what happened. A few gremlins in the works here today. Well, in case you missed the first bit, just saying that it's Facebook Live, 25th of March, Robin, is it?
Yeah, 25th.
Yep, 25th of March we're on today. And you're with me, Alison from the Community Health Team, and also Robin Faulkner. So what we're going to talk about today is how to make a low-fat, healthy coleslaw. So we're going to make it as simple as possible, because I think the easier we make it, the more likely it is you to try yourself to have a go in making it. We were here last week, and for those that were here last week, you maybe remember we talked a bit about leading a healthier lifestyle, and this is why we ended up talking about doing healthy low-fat coleslaw. So we talked about fluid intake, make sure you're taking in enough water. We spoke about exercise. We spoke about reducing your salt intake. We spoke about vegetables, fruit and vegetables, increasing the amount of fruit and veg you're eating. And one of the most crucial things, especially during lockdown just now, is trying to reduce the amount of sugar you're taking in. Sugar is something that's added to a lot of food, so making your own is a great way to make sure you're not putting any added sugar into things. So what we're going to do, we're going to get started on the coleslaw. I don't want to waste too much time doing other things, but here we have our trusty cabbage, which is one of the main ingredients that we're going to use today, okay? Probably not very appetising if you eat cabbage raw and just on its own with nothing else in it. But you add it to a few other things, my goodness, what a tasty delight we've got for you today. So, that's the cabbage. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to wait to get ready, because if you're going to do anything in the kitchen, and if you've got your good t-shirt on, this is my good Community Health Team t-shirt, I don't want to get that ruined, because these are much sought after, I have to say. So, I'll put my apron on, and get myself together, okay? So, we've spoke about the cabbage, so I've got the cabbage there, okay? The other ingredient we're going to use today is carrot. It's a very, very versatile vegetable, can be used in lots of things. The other thing we're going to use is light mayonnaise, really important to make sure you get the lighter versions of mayonnaise. Now, if anybody's a vegan out there, because I'd mentioned to someone yesterday, Angie, I mentioned to her that I was going to be doing low-fat coleslaw, and she says, oh, what about us vegans? We won't be using that mayonnaise, so make sure that you mention you can get vegan mayonnaise as well. So please, if you don't want to use the mayonnaise that will have eggs obviously in it, try and look for the vegan option as well. So what we're going to do then is, I'm going to start with the carrots, okay? Now, so I'm just going to chop the end off the carrots, okay? So we take the knife, take them off, and I've got my wee bowl here, because we're not going to waste any food. We're going to put it in a bowl and it gets recycled, okay? So that's the other end cut off the pods. Now, what we're going to do with the carrot is grate it, okay? So I've got my shredder just to take bits of it off, okay? So I'm taking off that outer skin and getting rid of the bit round about it. Now, if you don't have one of these, I'm going to let you see a few of these. These are peelers, okay? Wonderful peelers you can get in most supermarkets and most shops, and they really are nice and quick. Can you see how quick I'm managing to do that? Just round we go. It's a really great implement, great kitchen tool to have. Round we go. Right, that's one done. We'll do the other one. You ready for the other one? Here we go. Da 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 da. Could have a wee sing song to ourselves while we're doing that. Okay. Alright, and if you've got any cooking tips for me or things you would like to see getting made at any point, can I just say to you, don't be giving me any hard things to do that are complicated, because I'm very much about keeping it very, very simple. So today is a simple thing to do, so I'm quite happy to do it. Right, so that's our carrot. It's all been nicely grated and nicely shredded, I should say. I've now got my second implement that I'm going to use, so my grater. So I'll put my lid on top of my container, so when I grate the carrot, it's all going to get caught into the container there. So all I do, grate away, down we go with the carrot. Can you see that? So I'm just grating, the carrot will be getting lower and lower and lower, nice and easy. It's a bit of good exercise as well. There we go. Down, down, down. Grate, grate away. Make sure you don't grate your finger, so as you get nearer to the bottom, you've got to be really, really careful with it. Right. Robin, have you managed to see what's going on? Because I know you want to make this too.
Yeah, already have.
Oh, have you, Robin?
Yeah.
Well done.
Oh.
See, Robin's doing what we're talking about week in, week out. Now, I'll just leave that bit there, okay, because I don't want to grate my fingers off. I'll do the other one. Doesn't take long, because that's quite a large size of a carrot. And there we go, great, great. And I'll let you see how we've got on just in a second. And what we're going to do when we've made the coleslaw, we're going to show you what to put it alongside, okay? So it's not just a case of making a lot of coleslaw and doing nothing with it, okay? So let's have a look. We'll see how much we've got. Right, take the lid off. There we go. Lovely grated carrot. All see that? So what I'll do, plop it into the big bowl, in it goes. I don't think I'll need any more than that, that'll do just now, okay? But we will use the rest of those carrots later, they will not get wasted, I promise you that. The good thing about today, you do know that it's not just me, I have got Robin with me. And because I'm making all this, the deal is Robin clears it all up and he does all the washing up. So, is that okay with you, Robin?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, or I'm not getting much of a commitment from. Right, so, cabbage. That's the way your cabbage comes, obviously it's round. Now, what we've got to do is make sure we do things very safely. So the first thing you do with your cabbage is cut it so you can get it onto a flat. You don't want to be, you know, mucking about with the cabbage, it's going to roll about all over the place. So what I did earlier was I cut a cabbage up so it's all nice and already, you know, flat for me to use. So what we're going to do is I've got my grater again and I'm going to shred the cabbage. I'm not going to grate it, I'm going to shred it. So this time I'm going to get the peeler and just gently peel down, okay? So there we go, just peel into it. So there's some of the cabbage coming off. There we go, can we see that? It's just grating away. And I'll just turn it round and get that side, so great, great, great.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was going to say I use a red cabbage for my one, so it's quite good as well. It makes it colourful if you want to use that.
Robin, that is a brilliant thing to say because I was meant to say that. Red cabbage as well makes it nice and colourful, you're right. So we're just going around this cabbage, grating away, shredding I should say, we're not grating, we're shredding. Okay, so I'll just turn it round. There.
Aim the bowl.
I've got a big bowl, some of it's going all over the place, so we've got to make sure we try and get it in the bowl, don't we? There. A little bit more. As I say, it's a good workout. Talking about a workout, have you been exercising recently, everyone? Because that's something I talk about a lot with you guys, is making sure you're getting out and doing your exercise. Really important to get walking. We did an exercise session a couple of weeks ago, didn't we, Robin?
Yep.
And do people remember what it was? And we change this one over. This one might be better. Yeah, this one's better. We went to Hilltown Park, didn't we? And what we want to say to people out there is if you've got a favourite park or if you've got an area you think it would be good for Robin and I to visit to try and promote, could you let me know please? Because Robin's going to let me know if you're sending any suggestions and we'll end up going over to the park and doing a session from there. As I say, we did Hilltown Park and we were able to promote all the exercise equipment that was there. Right, so I think I've done enough with the cabbage just now and it's all finely shredded. And you can make as much of this and as little as you want. So that's just put some cabbage in. Again, this will not get wasted. I'm going to be taking this home with me and using it again. But just for speed so you can see what to do. So, we've got some cabbage in there. I'll just mix it all in. Okay, so that's our cabbage into the coleslaw. Now, you can add onions if you wish. You don't have to. Some people are not too keen on onions. But if you want to add an onion, you can. Now, Robin was talking earlier about using a red cabbage. If you want a bit of colour, you can certainly use an onion. You could use a red onion, slightly stronger. The other kind of onion is a bit stronger. Will we put the onion in, Robin? What do you think?
If you want, yeah.
Right,
See what it
Robin
looks like.
says yes, so we'll go with the onion. So what we'll do is we'll take the ends of the onion off, okay? And I really hope I don't start crying. I hope my eyes don't start watering. Okay, so safety first, we'll cut the onion in half and get it face down, so it's when you're chopping it, it's not going to roll all over the place. I'll take the outer skin off and just peel that away, put it in there. And I'll take the other outer skin off, put it in the recycling, okay? So what I'm going to do now is just finely chop the onion. Now, I'm at a bit of a disadvantage today because I'm not using my own knife, so I'm not 100% confident, but Robin has very kindly assured me he knows where the first aid kit is. So thank you for that, Robin. He's always thinking about his staff safety.
Oh,
So
it's
I've got to
it's
say,
a bread knife you've got, I think.
is it a bit of goodness? We just had to use whatever we could in the community centre. So at least we've got something that's cutting, so there we go. Right, so that's the red onion. I wouldn't normally put an onion in. If you're going to use it quite quickly, it's fine to put an onion in. If you're going to be trying to keep this for a couple of days, onions tend to make the coleslaw go a bit watery after a day or two, so that's why sometimes people don't like using it.
It looks
Now,
nice. Do you think, could you use spring onion, do you think?
yes, absolutely. Listen, there's loads of things you could be putting into this. I was speaking to someone today and some people put an apple into it. Some people would maybe add raisins to it, or some people would add a bit of cheese, but we're not advocating the cheese today because, well, then again, you could put cheese, but make sure it's low fat. Okay, so it's absolutely fine. A little bit of things is okay to be using, but you don't want to overdo it. Now, got our low fat mayonnaise. Now, where is my spoon? So all we're going to do is take a couple of spoons. I'll take 1, 2. Do you think I should put one more in, Robin?
You maybe see what it's like first, or maybe, or...
Oh, well, I've already
Oh,
right, okay. Well, we'll put half of it in.
See how
So,
mayonnaise.
there we go. Right, so we'll give this a mix round.
Sylvia's asking if you can do a healthy breakfast at some point.
Oh, now that's a really good idea, a healthy breakfast. The reason being it's healthy, it's good to talk about a breakfast is because that gets you started in the morning. So you really need to be thinking about your breakfast. So that's a session we could do. If anybody else would like that, let us know, and Robin will let me know that that's a suggestion that people are wanting to do. Okay, now here's the coleslaw. Now I took a wee bit of time doing it. I could have made this in less than 5 minutes. Now there's your coleslaw. All that was done in next to no time at all, and it's a really cheap ingredient. Now, I'm not just going to leave you there with a load of coleslaw. We're going to make something else. We're going to do a couple of other things. So, this morning, Alison was up and about and was quite bright and breezy. Something I would never make first thing in the morning, but I knew I was doing this session. I made, let's see, what's in here? Any ideas, Robin?
A baked potato.
Hey, you could be right, Robin. You could be right. Now, yes, I was up, so I have made a baked potato, and see tin foil, it's wonderful because this baked potato is still rather warm. So there's our baked potato. Now we've got 2 plates, right? Now, if you're not bothered about your weight and you don't care about losing weight, maybe you'd use a plate this size or even bigger. Let's look at using smaller plates. If you use a smaller plate, it makes you feel that you're filling your plate up and your eyes are thinking, oh my goodness, there's loads on that. You use a bigger plate, you think, oh, there's hardly anything on that. So I would suggest you use a bigger plate for things. So there's the plate we're going to use. We've got our baked potato that Alison got up early and cooked. Now, I don't mind getting up earlier today to do that because I have to say, Robin let me finish earlier yesterday. Do you remember that, Robin? I said,
Yeah,
any
good.
chance
That what it was for.
I said, can I please finish early, Robin? He says, yes, no problem. So I thought, he was good with me yesterday, so I don't mind getting up at 5 o'clock this morning to do this baked potato. Now, that's not true. I didn't get up at 5. Right, so we're just going to cut into the baked potato, okay? And then we'll just plump it up a little bit. Oops, I kind of broke it. So we're plumping it up. Now, what I've got here, I was up again so early in the morning getting the low-fat cheese grated. So we've got our low-fat cheese. So there's other things you can be putting on your baked potato. Beans is a great thing to be putting on. So I'll just... Now, the reason I've grated the cheese, okay, you're going to use less of it. If you slice the cheese, you use far more of it. So try and grate your cheese where possible. Sprinkle it as much as you can over your ingredients or over your baked potato. So that's the cheese. What else could we have with it? What have I got on my table? Right. Aha! We have some mixed salad. So what about we put some greenery onto it? It's all about the colour. So let's get some colour on there. So there's some mixed salad. Does that look okay? Mm-hmm. So we've got some mixed salad. Anything else we could be putting on? Right. Well, let's get some more colour. What about we put a couple of tomatoes on that? So what we'll do is get the tomatoes. I'll use a different knife. Again, not my own knife. We just had to use what we could. So we'll pop a couple of tomatoes on there. Now, if anybody's not sure what they're having for lunch, I hope I'm giving you a couple of ideas. Okay?
Make me hungry now.
You're getting hungry, Robin. You could maybe eat this at the end, I don't know.
Could you have this for breakfast, do you think?
Well, no, we'll do breakfast another week. Right, so there we go. Now, here we go. Piece de resistance. The coleslaw that we made at the side there. Now, if you were to come to my house and I was to feed you that for your breakfast, for your lunch or your evening, what would you think? Marks out of 10, please. All this didn't take long. We've got our carbohydrates with our potato, we've got some protein and calcium with the cheese, we've got our vegetables, we've got, you know, vitamins and minerals are bursting out of this dish. So there you go. What do you think?
Great.
Can you give that a go, everyone? Okay.
And
well,
we've got a message. Angie says, "Hi Alison, I'm late." But you can watch it back if you missed the first bit of it, so hopefully
right.
you'll...
Angie, you watch this back because I made reference to you and about the vegan mayonnaise because it was you that said to me. So I promoted the light mayonnaise, but my good friend Angie had said, "What about vegans, Alison? Make sure you mention the vegan." So I did do that, Angie. So if you watch it back, you'll know I mentioned it. So there we go. There's our baked potato with our salad, with our coleslaw. Now, if you get coleslaw and you buy it out the supermarkets, you don't know what the ingredients are totally, and you don't know how long they've been put in there. Sometimes they're not chopped up properly. It's a little bit expensive. So you've made your own, and I'm sure your own will taste far better than you can get in any supermarket. So that's us today. Robin, do you want to ask me anything about it?
I can't remember what you mentioned, like, could you store that then in the fridge like overnight, and how long would it last?
Yep, right, wait till I go over. Here we go. You've probably all got containers in your home. What I would suggest, you put it in an airtight container. So put it in the container, get an airtight lid on it, like so. Put it in your fridge and use it within 1 or 2 days. No more than 2 days storing it. So please make sure you store it correctly. Okay? So that's us. Everybody okay with that? And we've had a suggestion for the healthy breakfast. We might do that next week, but we've still got to do the weights as well. So thank you everyone for joining myself and Robin today. We hope you've got something out of this. I will ask you next week if you've made the coleslaw, so hopefully you have. Anything at all, please get in touch. And it was great to see you all today. Catch up again soon.